Hey everyone, we are going to be taking the Humvee out to display it at an air show, because Humvees are pretty rare around here and people usually like to see them. Now I know we just took this to an air show not too long ago, but that was a bit random. We just sort of happened to show up when it was going on, and we were also carrying half a Unimog, and it was all a bit weird and rushed. But this time we do have an actual invite. And also we don't have to go very far because it's taking place at the local airport, so it's literally right over here. To give you an idea of how close we are, here's one of the planes. But this also means that this time we do have a chance to prepare the Humvee a little bit. And when I say prepare, I really just mean make it look a little bit more interesting to the people who are going to be out there to see it, so that it's not just an empty truck, but actually looks a little bit more like it would have done when it was in use. And with this being mainly a supply cargo kind of vehicle, that just means loading it up with a bunch of stuff. Alright, so I think what I'm going to do is I'll put down one of these bench seats just to make it obvious that this will carry people as well. And then over here on the other side, I'm going to put some ammo crates for small arms and some fuel canisters. And then in the middle, we're going to stack some bigger boxes. But just to try and make it look like there's more than there really is, I think I'm going to start by putting down an empty pallet and then we'll stack things on top of that. Because it doesn't really matter too much what we put in here, it just has to look like the kind of stuff that a vehicle like this would have been carrying. Although I'm pretty sure that most of the crates I have to put in here are ammo crates, which is great because that's a bit more exciting than just a pallet of MREs. Just gonna put a bunch of these up here. And of course, this is a Humvee, so they would have been carrying some extra fuel as well. All right, I'm pretty happy with that. That looks good. I also brought my toolbox just in case. And these are just random ammo boxes. There's some 5.56 boxes, some 40 mil and stuff, but I made sure to put the one out here that says 12.7 millimeter live rounds, just because that's what people are gonna see. Now, because this is not a green thing, we're just gonna throw some camo over this. And I think we're gonna load this wide crate here in front of it. Actually, I don't even know what this is. Well, they painted over the text, unfortunately, but I can sort of make out 105 millimeter. Not quite sure what that says. Fin stabilized M85 with tracer. So I'm pretty sure this would have had a couple of rounds for the Leopard main battle tank. Also have this big one we can put up on top. Not even sure what this is. It's some German thing. I think it's a toolkit. Oh yeah, it basically says that it's a toolkit for tracked vehicles. And it's for the chassis of the Kampfpanzer, the main battle tank Leopard, and its counterparts. So basically all the vehicles that uses the Leopard chassis. Also have a couple of these things. Pretty sure that's also some ammo. So these were 76 millimeter armor rounds, fin stabilized M76. Oh, it says right here, armor piercing, fin stabilized, discarding sabot. So these were for some type of cannon. But 76, it's a pretty small. Wait, is that like a Sherman cannon? I feel like that might be for a Sherman tank. I mean, we did have a few Sherman tanks many years ago, so it is possible. I think we'll put one back there and we'll leave the other one down here. Yeah. I feel like we still need something over on that side. I do have a couple of these metal boxes. This one had some training ammo, 75mm M30, 10 rounds. Not entirely sure what would have used 75mm. And they couldn't have been terribly long if they were in this box. So possibly some type of autocannon, maybe an AA gun, or maybe even a naval cannon of some kind. Let me know if you know what this was used for. I'm just gonna put these back here somewhere. You know, for legal reasons, I feel like I should just clarify that all of these are just old empty boxes. There is nothing inside any one of these. So I am not bringing a whole bunch of ammunition and tank shells to an airport, okay? Don't worry. And I do realize that all of this is pretty much just vehicle LARPing, but I'm okay with that. All right, I'm pretty happy with this. Now it's not just some empty truck. This is a little bit more interesting to look at. And I know my tie down could be better, but there's surprisingly few tie down points on this. And I'm aware that this is not a tie down point. This is where the strap would come through if you had a canvas roof on this. As for the inside, I am not gonna be doing a whole lot because I don't think people are gonna look in here a whole lot anyway. I'm probably just gonna dump some random gear in here, maybe something with that good old American woodland camo. That seems to be fitting for this truck. In the long run, I really would like to get some of the radio stuff back into this, but it's pretty hard to come by and also very expensive. But I do have some ideas for that. However, that is a project for another day because it's definitely not something I can get set up before tomorrow morning. Well, it turns out I don't really have all that much woodland camo stuff. But it doesn't really matter. That's good enough. And if you're wondering, no, we're not going to be bringing in any rifles or anything like that. This is not America. And also, I don't have any mounts for them. Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the rifle mounts would have been out here in these corners so that they would sit up against these door pillars. But there's nothing there. Now that's really all I had time for this evening, so we're going to be heading out to the air show tomorrow morning. now been joined by the guys from, let's see if I can get it right this time, the Danish Airbase Fire and Rescue Organization. These are the guys that invited us out here. They are the ones that took over the old Unimog 404. I'm not entirely sure why, but a couple of years ago I had the weird idea that it would be really cool to have some of these armor barricades in my driveway. Now these have been out here since World War II. I recognize this one. That's a British APC. I think they are an FV 432, I think is the number. Not too many of these things over here. I should give me one of these. So I know that I just bought a trailer to drag behind my Unimog, but this thing would be really cool to have to hook onto that. I need this for the Humvee.
Så det er en meget fin flyver, som Lars vil demonstrere for os lige om lidt. Nu er han kommet i luften. Så han er færdig. Wow, hold kæft for den kan. Det er jo fuldstændig vildt.
So many old vintage tractors out here and not a single Unimog. But to be fair, the Unimog was never very widespread as an agricultural vehicle around here. So I should probably just give a brief explanation as to why there are bunkers and so much military stuff out here. And that's because this airport has some military history. This place was occupied by the Germans in the 1940s and used by the German Luftwaffe. And they are the ones that built all these bunkers out here.
Efter sådan 10 minutters flyvning her, så er man helt klart svedet på ryggen, og det ned ad kinderne. Det er dyb koncentration.
Det kommer nu flyvende her. I dobbelt vig. Og laver en cirkel. Og flyve, formationsflyvning. Ja.
Well, these things seem very familiar. We have done a lot of miles in one of these. Road miles for some reason.
Mens breaker de andre formationer og flyver ud i 2-2.
Som jeg sagde, faldskærmsspringeren, som hopper ud ved et kæmpe stort angrebsring.
Så man kan høre.
Well, that's it for the day. The air show itself is over and most people are packing up to go home. Luckily, we don't have all that much to pack up, so we're just gonna head on out of here. Alright, well here we are, so that is pretty much all I have for you guys this time around. I hope you found this at least somewhat interesting. I certainly did, as there was a lot more stuff to look at down on the ground at this event. So that was pretty cool to be a part of. But now I'm gonna get back to some of all my projects. So thank you all for watching along, and I'll see you in the next one.